Have you ever met someone, and within just a few days, your brain already started imagining a future with them? You barely know their favorite food, you don't know their flaws, and yet somehow they already feel special. Why does this happen? Why can the human brain become emotionally attached so fast, even before real love has time to grow? The answer is hidden deep inside your psychology, and once you understand it, you'll never look at attraction the same way again. The human brain is designed to make fast decisions. Thousands of years ago, humans didn't have time to slowly analyze every person they met. The brain had to quickly decide safe or dangerous, important or irrelevant, potential partner or not. So instead of logic, your brain uses emotional shortcuts. And sometimes, those shortcuts create feelings that feel like love. When you meet someone attractive or emotionally exciting, your brain releases dopamine. Dopamine is the chemical connected to pleasure, motivation, and reward. It creates excitement, anticipation, obsession. That's why you suddenly check your phone every few minutes, replay conversations in your head, and smile for no reason. Your brain is literally rewarding you for thinking about them. Strangely, your brain often falls faster for people you don't fully understand. Why? Because uncertainty creates curiosity. When someone is unpredictable, your mind keeps searching for answers. Do they like me? Are they thinking about me? What will happen next? This mental chasing activates the brain's reward system even more, and suddenly, curiosity starts feeling like emotional attachment. Here's something dangerous. When you barely know someone, your brain fills the empty spaces with fantasy. You imagine their personality. You assume their intentions. You create an ideal version of them inside your head. In psychology, this is called projection. Sometimes you're not falling in love with the person, you're falling in love with the version your mind created. Many people confuse attention with love. If someone texts you constantly, compliments you, or gives you emotional focus, your brain interprets it as emotional value. Because humans naturally crave validation. The moment someone makes you feel seen, your brain remembers it powerfully, especially if you've been emotionally lonely. The brain becomes more emotionally vulnerable during loneliness. When someone enters your life during a difficult emotional period, your mind attaches faster, not because they are perfect, but because they temporarily remove emotional pain. Your brain starts associating them with relief, and relief is addictive. Psychologists discovered something fascinating. People are often attracted to emotional patterns that feel familiar, even unhealthy ones. If chaos, inconsistency, or emotional distance existed in your childhood, your brain may mistake those feelings for attraction later in life, because familiarity feels safe to the subconscious mind, even when it hurts. Long eye contact can deeply affect the brain. Studies show it increases emotional bonding and chemical reactions linked to attraction. That's why a simple stare can sometimes feel intense. Your brain interprets focused attention as emotional importance, and suddenly, a few seconds feel unforgettable. Sometimes you're not addicted to the person, you're addicted to the possibility, the what if. What if this becomes real? What if they're different? What if this is finally the relationship you wanted? Hope is emotionally powerful, and the brain loves hope because it creates dopamine before anything even happens. Modern technology changed attraction completely. Now your brain can constantly access someone's photos, messages, stories, and online presence. This creates artificial closeness, even if you barely know them in real life. Your brain mistakes repeated exposure for emotional intimacy. Emotional ups and downs can create stronger attachment. Hot and cold behavior, mixed signals, random affection. These patterns confuse the brain, and confused brains become emotionally obsessed, trying to solve the situation. This is why toxic relationships often feel intense, not because they're healthy, but because unpredictability stimulates the reward system. Research shows the brain can judge attraction within seconds. Body language, voice tone, facial symmetry, confidence. Your subconscious notices these details immediately, before logic even enters the conversation. That's why attraction often feels automatic, because part of it actually is. In early attraction, The imagination is usually stronger than reality. You focus on potential instead of truth. Small moments feel huge. Tiny signs feel meaningful. The brain loves building stories, and love stories are emotionally addictive. Humans naturally trust people who seem similar to them. Same humor, same music taste, same pain, same dreams. The brain sees similarity as emotional safety. And emotional safety increases attachment quickly because your mind starts thinking, this person understands me. Sometimes, fast attachment is actually emotional survival. If someone alternates between affection and emotional withdrawal, your brain becomes trapped in a cycle of anxiety and reward. This creates trauma bonding. The emotional intensity feels powerful, but it's often unhealthy. Real love brings peace. Once the brain becomes emotionally interested, rejection suddenly feels painful. Why? Because emotional attachment activates the same brain regions connected to physical pain. That's why heartbreak can literally hurt your body. Your brain treats emotional loss like danger. Songs, places, smells, and memories become emotionally connected to people. This is why one song can suddenly remind you of someone instantly. Your brain stores emotions together with sensory experiences, and every reminder reactivates those emotions again. One of the strangest things about the human brain, it often feels first and thinks later. Emotions move faster than logic. That's why people ignore red flags, defend toxic behavior, or become attached too quickly. The emotional brain wants connection. The logical brain arrives later. Sometimes what feels like chemistry is actually emotional validation. Someone finally listens to you, understands your pain, makes you feel attractive, and suddenly your brain labels them as deeply special, not because you truly know them, but because they activated emotional needs. The less available someone is, the more your brain may want them. Psychology calls this the scarcity effect. Rare attention feels more valuable. That's why emotionally unavailable people can become strangely addictive. Your brain mistakes difficulty for importance. Here's the truth many people don't realize. Fast attachment and real love are not always the same thing. Real love usually grows slowly. It develops through trust, consistency, respect, and emotional safety. Obsession feels intense. Love feels stable. Deep down, most human beings want the same thing: to feel chosen, wanted, safe, important. And when someone temporarily gives you those feelings, your brain becomes emotionally attached quickly, because emotional security is one of the strongest human desires. Once you understand how attraction works, you become more self-aware. You stop confusing obsession with love. You notice emotional patterns faster, and you make better relationship decisions. Because now you realize, not every intense feeling is real connection. Sometimes, it's just your brain reacting to chemicals, loneliness, fantasy, and hope. So the next time you fall for someone incredibly fast, ask yourself, do I truly know this person? Or is my brain creating a story I want to believe? Because understanding your emotions is the first step toward protecting your heart. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe for more content about human psychology, dark behavior, emotional intelligence, and the hidden science behind everyday life. And comment below, have you ever fallen for someone too fast?